Sports are a great way to relieve stress while maintaining a physical fit body and can usually be played for little price. Although of course with anything else in life, it's not free. For example, if you're playing baseball, you will need a bat, batting helmet, the baseball itself, and so on. The same goes for basketball. You will need some decent shoes, the ball, and so on, which will need to be purchased by players before they can actually play. And like I said before, these costs are not too bad. I'm not saying they're cheap, but they're not exactly millions, are they? Like some of the sports that we are going to be talking about today. Because, in today's video, we're going to be showing you the top 5 most expensive sports in the world. And just FYI, stay tuned till the end because our last sport literally costs 8 figures, which is insane. And before we start, don't forget to smash that subscribe button below. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 5. Golf. Now, many of you won't think that golf belongs on this list. I certainly didn't, but it's surprisingly expensive. I mean, some of the things you would need are obviously golf balls, which can cost around $20 for some mid-range ones. You'll obviously need golf clubs, which can cost around $400 for once again some mid-range ones, as apparently you need different clubs for different types of whacking the ball. Then you have golf ball markers, which you can get for about $5 on Amazon. Then you'll need tees, which are about $10 on Amazon. You'll also need a golf bag, and let's go with a cheap one for around $100. Yep, there's still more to go. You will also need club head covers for $10 and a divot repair tool for about $10. That's most of the equipment done. Now onto the clothing. Golf shoes will set you back about $100 and t-shirts will be about $20 to $30 for some mid-range ones. The last piece of clothing you will need is golf gloves for around $20. This is just the main stuff, and most of these prices are for mid-range products too, so you could be spending a lot more. If you think that's not very expensive, then wait till you hear this. If you play golf seriously and wanted a golf cart, not a top-of-the-range one with a V12 engine, just kidding. But say you wanted the cheapest one that was still new, it would cost you $10,000, and for a maxed-out one, you could be looking at around $15,000. Okay, so in total for mid-range bare minimum equipment, golf will cost you $700, not including paying for a golf course to use and if you're getting a golf cart. Your total expenditure for a basic one with basic equipment will be $10,700. Still think golf is cheap. Number 4. Sailing. Okay, so sailing does seem like it's expensive, doesn't it? I mean, your main piece of equipment is literally a boat. Well, if you're wondering how this is even a sport, like I am, sailors basically compete against other boats for speed by using wind power received by their sails without the use of engines, motors, or any other power source. Okay, time to delve into the costs. Firstly, you'll need the boat, which will run you back about $10,000 for a mid-range one, and obviously that's not including maintenance costs, which are $2,000 every year. Then you'll need a wetsuit for about $130 and sailing boots for $50. Next, you'll need sailing gloves for $20. Okay, now safety equipment. Basic things you'll be needing are a life jacket, buoyancy aid, sailing knife, and first aid kit, which will all cost $140. Obviously, there are other things that could be useful too, like navigation equipment. All of that stuff together will cost you $12,340 for 1 year of sailing, and for every other year after that. Just add another $2,000 for the yearly maintenance. So, in conclusion, very expensive. Number 3. Polo. Now, polo once again is associated with wealth and luxury. For those of us who don't know how to play, the object of the game is to move the polo ball down the field, hitting the ball through the goalposts to score. Okay, time for the costs. Firstly, and most importantly, a horse is needed, costing $45,000 for one horse. And if you play polo seriously, you could be looking about buying 3 horses, but let's keep it as 1 for this list. Then you'll need a polo helmet for $300 and boots for $500. You'll also need knee pads for $200 and gloves for $40. Furthermore, a polo stick is needed, costing $160 and polo whites for $150. That's a total of $46,350. Number 2. Yacht racing. Now this is very similar to sailing, except the only difference is that boats can use engines. I won't run through all of the costs, as the same equipment as sailing will be needed, but the thing that makes this more expensive is the boat. This time you can use an engine, therefore it's an extra part, therefore making the boats used more expensive. These can range from $13,000 to $3 million. And remember all of the other equipment needed too. Number 1. Now this sports is blatantly expensive. Racing, or F1. The cars alone are worth 8 figures, varying from $12 million to $15 million, and obviously there's loads of other equipment too, like helmets costing $5,000 and racing suits for $2,000. Gloves too for $200 and boots for $600. The list goes on, but anyway, this sport requires tons and tons of financial investment to take part. The total for racing would be around $12,007,200. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. Until next time.